Like to tell you a story, but no, seriously.
Welcome to the PopCulture Effect. I'm Rockin Rob, and on this show, I bring my closest friends together to talk about all the news happening in our pop culture world around us. Welcome all to another episode of the PopCulture Effect. I'm here with a couple of my lovely friends. We've got Subset,
Yo.
and we've got Menace.
Hello.
And there's a few things that have been going on that we wanted to touch on, but I would like to pass it off to the boys because Menace and Subset, what the hell has been going on with the... Oh, what the hell has been going on with this new Borderlands game?
Like to tell you a story, but no, seriously. For those that don't know, that's how almost every Borderlands starts, with one of the main gun merchants, Marcus. He's essentially telling the story of each game.
I do like that.
It's great. For those that don't know, Borderlands 4 is the newest entry in the looter shooter series. It takes place in, I don't want to call it a multiverse, but it's multiple universes. But
I hate
not
to
in
break
the
it to you.
not in the sense of multiple universes as in like the same but a little different, but it's literal different galaxy universes.
So it's like an omniverse.
What? At least in Borderlands 3 there were 6 different galaxies that you could go to.
It is just a bigger space of space.
Yeah, and throughout these different galaxies and even beyond, there are these rumored vaults, which are ancient alien technology hidden away to supposedly house treasure, loot, fame, fortune, money. Essentially, if you find a vault, it'll give you enough power and wealth to fund your wildest dreams. Those rumors were quickly proven when, what was it, Atlas Corporation? Subset?
Yeah.
I
Uh,
hate the Atlas Corporation. Sorry.
Well, essentially, you hate mega corporations. You may not like this, Bobbert, because
Uh-oh.
what's known as the main 6 galaxies of Borderlands are run by mega corporations, mainly weapon manufacturers, because of how lawless the galaxies have been. And
That's why all the different weapons when I played Tiny Tina's had different people making
yeah,
that. Okay.
each manufacturer has their own like specialty brand of type of weapon that they make. Torg specializes in the explosives and rockets and sticky grenades.
Holy shit.
TDR specializes in explosive munitions, which means, unlike rockets and stuff, instead of reloading your gun, you chuck it and that thing turns into a grenade.
What the
Or it turns into a little robot with legs and shoots people. Yeah.
You're saying Borderlands is not your average first-person shooter. It's pretty wacky.
Oh, it is over the top, wacky, in my opinion, funny at times.
Handsome Jack will always be funny, okay?
Mm, you don't know the story. He's not that funny.
Yeah, he's pretty sad.
He's a bad guy. He's bad guy.
Bag- But he's handsome.
No, he bad guy. Anyway, those rumors were quickly proven to be true when the Atlas Corporation was dying after the war between these different mega corporations. They were essentially about to go out of business when the very first vault hunter, Typhon de Leon, found the vault on a planet. These vaults always housed some sort of monster that guarded them. Because of that, these corporations started employing people called Vault Hunters, and that's who we play as. They took it over as their new headquarters and quickly became the forefront in weapons technology, or technology in general, really. This takes place a while after that, because at the end of Borderlands 3, one of our main characters, Lilith, teleported the moon of Pandora, which was our main planet. The moon is called Elpis, across the galaxy to stop the Calypso twins from opening the vault, which was the core of Pandora. Lilith was one of the original Vault Hunters in Borderlands 1, also known as a Siren, who are connected to the vaults in some strange way.
Oh, wait, so
They
she's one of the OGs?
Yeah, she was in Borderlands 1. She was the very first Siren that we met. There were 2 sirens in Borderlands 1. They are drawn to the vault, like something whispers in the back of their head and draws them to mainly Pandora, because for some reason there's like a ton of vaults around Pandora and on Pandora. But anyway, she teleports the moon Elpis so it doesn't open the vault, because that happens to be the key to open the planet. And in the process of doing that, she disappears and the moon crashes into what's called the Veil, which is like this glass dome protecting and hiding away the planet Kairos. This is where the setting of Borderlands 4 takes place. 6 years after Elpis has teleported and shattered the Veil, we arrive. We get messages or have our own inklings to go to the planet and search for the vault. The character I've mainly played Harlow. She is a scientist whose inventions were stolen by her family, who work for the Maliwan Corporation, which is another one of those big gun companies. They specialize in elemental weapons. She gets her stuff stolen, so she wants to make a name for herself and upgrade her tech to something no one's ever seen. Well, what better way to do that than the technology found in a vault? So she goes to Kairos, her and the other three vault hunters, which for the other vault hunters, there's Rafa, who is an exo soldier who he needed money and was signed up for a program to become a soldier in TDOR's army, one of the other mega corporations we talked about before. He was tricked into a contract he could never get out of, and they wanted to turn him into a zombie soldier. He fled there and went to Kairos to try to get the vault to fund. There is a special thing that powers his exosuit, and he has an incurable disease. So he wants to find enough wealth to either find a cure or like keep his exosuit powering because that's the only thing that's keeping him alive. There is also Amon, who I think his backstory is really interesting. He was raised by, for lack of better words, a cult that worshipped vault monsters. During one of these rituals, they actually opened a vault, and when the monster inside started destroying everybody, Amon saw the fault in this, and he promised his loved ones that died and made a promise to himself that he would track down and destroy every vault monster. Then the last one is Vex, who is our titular siren. There's a siren in every Borderlands game. And she was originally just a retail worker at a mall on what seems to be Pandora. And for those that don't know, Pandora is a very lawless, very full of crazy people kind of planet. And they have this holiday called Mercenary Day, where you buy guns for each other and go out shooting people.
It sounds lovely. It sounds like Black
Yes.
Friday.
Yeah, this game is off the walls. So during one of those Mercenary Day sales, she was working retail. From all the stress and anxiety, her siren powers activated, created clones of her wielding scythes and having demon wings, and they tore through everybody in that mall.
That's kind of fucking metal.
Yeah.
That's a sidebar. Usually, there's only 6 known abilities that sirens are known for. Everybody knows it until.
Nope, from the lore, I researched this beforehand and re-looked it up. There are no set number of powers. The only way that a similar power is passed down is if they choose a successor. Or in the rare case with Tyreen in Borderlands 3, because she was conceived in the vault where a particular siren was held.
Just as somebody who's never played a Borderlands game, really, that is pretty fucking cool. What you just described.
It is really cool, but to get off that, she takes everyone out in the mall, and Siren being Siren, she has this inexplicable call to Kairos for the vault, and along with that, she wants to learn more about what sirens are and to find herself with these new siren powers. You actually get an echo log of her, like, when she's boarding the spaceship to go to Kairos. They weren't even heading to Kairos. It like their ship crashed essentially because it was like shot out of the sky. But when she's getting on the ship, she's talking. She's like, "Huh, I can't use my real name. I wanna start new, start fresh. What's something cool and freezer burn? No. Huh. And then the AI that's like asking her for her name is like, it seems like the subject is vextrulating or something like that means like over talking or over explaining. And she's like, wait, what'd you say? Vex. Yeah, I like that. Those four Vault Hunters, they crash on Kairos. They come across with one of the enemy factions that you meet, which is called the Rippers. They're just like a set of crazy people. They take them out, and something that's kind of that I like and I'll kind of get into during the early Borderlands games, Vault Hunters they were told directly to us that they were money-hungry mercenaries that didn't care about people, and it always seemed like, at least Borderlands 1 and 2, the role of hero was more like thrust upon the Vault Hunters, and it was really good storytelling. It was like, we're just here to find the vault, get money, and get rich. Oh, these people need our help. Okay, pay us, we'll do it. And that's how you kind of get your rewards for each mission. People will pay you. You're doing this for loot. Borderlands 3 kind of fell off that. You show up and they're instantly trying to join the Crimson Resistance, which is like the main protagonist force normally ends up. A few of the Vault Hunters from the first game made the Crimson Raiders for Borderlands 2, and then after everything happened in Borderlands 2, they made the Crimson Resistance in Borderlands 3, and I believe it is still the Crimson Resistance in Borderlands 4. How Borderlands 3 kind of did it was it didn't feel like anyone besides Amara really was meant to be there. But that's why Borderlands 4 has become like my second favorite Borderlands game besides Borderlands 2. They have their own motivations. They're not just mercenaries out for money or fame. They literally want to, due to their past, they actually see these people that are, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but essentially, after Elpis crashed into the Vale of Kairos, the ruler of the planet, known as the Timekeeper, who has some connection to the Vaults, starts going from a benevolent leader to really a tyrant. He implants everybody with these things called bolts, which is like this neck spinal implant, and it also allows him to take control of you whenever he feels like it.
Oh, what the hell? No.
Yeah, he has the power to take over not just one person, but he can take over multiple different people at a time and make them do whatever he wants.
Oh, shit.
And right after the Vault Hunters finish taking out the Rippers, they are immediately caught and implanted with these bolts from the Timekeeper. Beginning cutscene plays, all cool, all badass. You see these heroes, they show up, taking out these psychos, and then boom, in prison, bolt shoved in your spine, you're mine. The Timekeeper shows up in front of you, he's like, this is my planet, I know what you came here for, you're not getting it. You're under my rule now. And then not only
Classic
does he do
baddie.
that, yes, but like this is really good classic baddie. Like the stakes are there. He is talking to you and taunting you because he's in your head. You get saved by this person named RJ. Later on, towards the end of the tutorial, he makes you beat up RJ. He'll start controlling people, talking to you through them, taunting you like, "Hey, I could kill them at any moment." Talking like the people that you're helping on Kairos, like your friends and stuff. You can find stories and ecologues of just how bad he is. Go into too much, but there's one where like he made this guy's sister drown by literally he would take her over, smile at the brother, and let her sink. And then when she sunk to the bottom, he would stop taking control of her, let her swim all the way to the top, and then take control of her again and let her sink. Like the dude is fucked.
That is very disturbing.
You hear these people in their plights. Our Vault Hunters have had these traumatic incidents happen to them, and you get a real sense of these Vault Hunters actually want to help these people. You hear it in the dialogue between the characters and the NPCs. You hear it in like the echo logs that you find later, like, oh, this chick helped me, and she summoned multiple versions of herself and slashed people with a scythe. It was really cool, and I thought she was gonna come after me next. But she was actually really nice. Like you hear stuff like that of like the world changing throughout Borderlands 4. The Timekeeper shows up multiple times, and you can see he's getting more frustrated. He's getting more vulgar with you. He's getting more paranoid at the people that are on his side, whether they're going to switch to you or not. It's actual building of. He's just a really good villain. It's a actual like really good story. The world feels alive, unlike a lot of open world games now. I've been AFK standing still, and NPCs will literally run up to you and start a conversation with you
I've never heard of that.
for no reason other than be like, one time I had this drunk girl just ran up to me and she's like, "Hey, you're the Vault Hunter, right?" Well, I bet I could shoot better than you can. And then she just walks off. I was like, what?
See, I think that's the one, like, when it came to games with, like, NPCs and shit, that's the thing that kind of, like, disconnected me. Because I felt like I had to be the one to always go and talk with people. Like, they had no agency of themselves.
Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, apparently it had a rocky launch, especially on PC. There was a lot of performance issues. It was very heavy on hardware. I can say from my experience, I've never had more than maybe a little frame drops here and there when I'm loading in a new area. There's a day one patch, and then there was another patch that they've added after that there was an update that they added after that was all about performance, which I like that a company instead of nerfing our characters to the ground, changing weapon damage, changing perks, whatever, whatever. We're gonna focus on making sure the game works right first.
It's like, okay, we hear ya. They'll get better, just...
And it wasn't that long. It was only like a couple weeks after the game came out where, once again, unlike other companies, instead of nerfing their characters with the first update, this first big update they did to the characters and to the actual like gameplay and stuff, all they did was buff the underperforming subclasses, I guess you could say, for lack of better terms, of the
Man,
different characters.
there's so many games I could think of where the logic of, wait, something is overpowered, let's buff everything else to an appropriate level instead of nerfing the fun thing.
Even in other PvE games, it's like people always go for nerfs.
All
It's
right,
just
so I'm gonna give you a question away from the story because
Yeah, I had a
as
question.
the game goes, mechanic. Because comparing to Borderlands 3,
God damn it, you
Ultimate
took my
Vault Hunter
question.
mode, right?
Oh,
You gotta be fast
yes.
on that.
So after you complete the campaign, there is always what's called Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. Because the game doesn't technically end once you're done with the story. You got side quests to do, and always the main thing of Borderlands, getting loot. Getting that sweet, sweet legendary loot. Legendary.
But my main big question of it is, how is it comparing to 3 to 4?
3 was kind of like every other Borderlands game where once you complete the story, you essentially new game plus. Ultimate Vault Hunter, you go through the story again and once you beat it, you're at Ultimate Vault Hunter mode and that's that. You can go and farm. You have more money gain and higher loot chance. So like you have a better
Yeah.
chance of legendaries dropping. In this, it's really different. I kind of like it, kind of don't like it. You do modified challenges. So like once you complete the game, you get a whole nother section called Ultimate Vault Hunter challenges. And it has you go around the world completing different bosses, which I think is cool. It makes you explore the world more. I actually found some of the things I run for my build just by doing those challenges. Like there was you get a little stim kit. It's called a rep kit. And I got one that from one of these random bosses that I had to go fight. Anytime I do overkill damage, like with my ability, any of that damage that went over goes into a little healing orb and flies over and heals me. But after you complete a certain set of challenges, you get to do a enhanced mission, which is normally like fighting the 4 or 5 big bads of the game, and there's special modifiers on them. So it'll be like, I'll just start with my least favorite one, Element Eater, where if you hit anybody with an element, they heal instead of take damage. And it fucking sucks when all your character is based around an element. There's ones like Healthy, where they'll have like 2 or 3 extra health bars, and it's random whatever type they get, because
Yeah.
the color of the health bar in Borderlands matters.
So just like modifiers on top of the game that you're doing.
You don't have to go through the full mission again because some of these missions can be very long, but each main boss has like a fortress that they're in, and it'll teleport you to the beginning of their fortress, and you got to go and take them out again. But yes, there is modifiers added on top of it. There are multiple Vault Hunter levels, but unlike in Borderlands 3 where there was fucking 10 of them, there's only 5. One for each of the main bosses in the game. Each time you beat that modified mission, you will automatically go into the next Ultimate Vault Hunter level, and you can drop or raise the Vault Hunter level as you unlock more at any point in your game.
So from what I'm hearing, Borderlands 4 is a better version of Borderlands 3 that has a lot of quality life changes, but actually has characters people care about.
No.
Oh.
For the flaws of Borderlands 4's writing, the main story, at least to me, and especially the collectibles and like the hidden story, I guess you could say, that's in every Borderlands game, was really good. It just felt like the in-universe cultural shift from Vault Hunters being mercenaries to Vault Hunters being heroes felt more like a retcon than it did an in-universe view shift.
Okay.
At least that was my main issue. Is like it's more of, this is like, it's a new planet, new galaxy, new story. It feels like a fresh start, and it definitely a step in the right direction for writing. I'm not saying that there aren't bad spots in the writing. There aren't characters that are kind of meh. For the most part, and as a general like main story, I would definitely recommend this.
I mean, for me, I'm somebody who, as I said at the top of this, I've only played Tiny Tina's, so I don't even know what Borderlands is. But at least from how you described it and the gameplay I've seen, it does look a lot more fun than like what I have seen from like Borderlands 3 or stuff like that. And I'm at least glad that they're taking the story kind of in a new direction, if that makes sense.
I feel like you would just get lost on Kairos because
Yeah,
there's so much that you can just do just by going around. I
Borderlands 3,
don't
I
know
got
if that
lost
quite
in.
answered your question though, Subset, with how different it is.
I see. Because as for me, especially since playing like for Borderlands 3 for the time I did, I will say for me as a player, it's definitely shifted in how I view Borderlands, at least in terms of putting the effort in. Because I didn't really like the version of Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. Really did not care about the farming.
Yeah, I know you don't care about the farming for the perfect weapon roll of what.
I know it's ironic saying this is a looter shooter. I play Destiny enough to that
It's kind of
game.
what I was getting at. I'm gonna say it was ironic because I know I have seen you grind for 6 hours straight to get the perfect roll of a gun in Destiny, but you get this cool green gun in Borderlands, and you're just like, yeah, I'll keep this for the rest of the game.
Like, it's just in terms, for me, it's just, if I like the gun and it's fun, I'm gonna rock it. I'll make it work, and I don't care if I'm doing, like, less damage or not being efficient. Because that's been a problem for the first week for Borderlands, for people either sped run it or just use broken shit and they call it boring. Like, bro, you just use very limited shit just to get those big numbers and you call the game boring.
I get that, but it's also Borderlands is also a power fantasy. It's getting to a place where the stuff that was hard is a breeze for
Yeah, and
me.
that's the journey of going through the story or, like, the side quests.
As the games have developed, it's become more of like by the end of the story you want to have that, or like at least for Borderlands 4, it's more of like the way that I kind of look at it when I load up a Borderlands game. I find the Vault Hunter I like. I go over their skill trees. I'm like, huh, what build do I want to pick? Harlow, for example. I saw that she had a lot of elemental stuff. She had a lot of like stacking damage on top of her guns. So I was like, I want to make a build where I can constantly crit on that damage and I can make the element that is getting put on top of my gun also crit. And then while I'm playing and killing the different bosses, if I find anything that goes with that, then once I'm done with the story, I will go back to that boss and be like, "Hey, you had that cool item. I want a better one." And then I'll farm that boss. Cuz like I'm like you, like if we're going through a story or we are doing missions, I want to do those missions. I don't want to be stuck here killing the same thing 30 times trying to get what I want when everybody else is sitting here, hey, we got more story to do.
Again, that's why I said it's a personal change for me, at least for the Borderlands game, because before, even then, I never gave a damn. Even though that's kind of like, I just did not. I still did my numbers. I still figured it out, and I still was able to do it efficiently. I guess my only issue is that's one thing that they haven't really adjusted is the gunplay.
Yeah, I think they
There's
have.
In terms of
The-
Borderlands fashion, at
especially
least for me, it's still the same. It's just Borderland weapons,
I
special
think you
shit,
just
more or less
haven't
stuff.
played enough of Borderlands 4 because Borderlands 4 changes a lot. There's a sniper rifle that's also a Gatling gun. There's a shotgun that counts as all ammo type. There's grenades that shoot auras while also spewing out things that make black holes.
Didn't you also say there were guns that could do like quadrillions of damage?
It's more of when you get your build, like when you get your build set and you get everything and the stars align, you hit that thing just right and you're fighting a boss and you hit them for that damage. That's the feeling I love in that game, is like when I get my build, you can get guns to do a lot of damage, but there is no one gun that's just going to do a ton of damage.
You gotta work for it. You gotta build it.
There's a lot of gun variety, especially like not only do we have a couple new manufacturers like Daedalus and Order, we also have the attachment system and the underbarrels. Dude, some of the underbarrels are so freaking cool in this game, and every gun can possibly get an underbarrel because they've added, not only are there different manufacturers for weapons, but these manufacturers have started making attachments that go on other weapons.
Man, like I just want to say Discord hates us. If you're checking us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're checking us out on CJSW and their network, make sure to check out all the other lovely stuff they have to offer. Thank you both, Subset and Menace, for joining me today. Thank you, Menace.
Oh yeah, no problem.
And thank you, Subset.
Hey yo.
We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey.